things just like you and I. They belong to a class of microorganisms called prokaryotes. Bacteria play an important role in the function of human bodies. We use bacteria to aid digestion, help respiratory function, and bolster immune support. Without these bacteria, we cannot survive. But just as there are good bacteria, there are bad bacteria that cause diseases like tuberculosis, malaria, and syphilis.
Hi, I'm a guy in a lab coat who is not a paid actor. Anyway, let's get started.
Science.
What happens when bad bacteria enter our body? At some point, you might have had an infected cut, a sinus infection, or food poisoning. Many times, this is caused by bacteria. Thanks to modern medicine, you don't have to worry about these seemingly minor issues having serious complications. But what happened before modern medicine? These were the days where dangerous diseases like tuberculosis were treated with fresh air and bed rest. Mercury was used for syphilis, and bloodletting was used for infections. Infection was an everyday concern. Imagine getting a paper cut or lancing a boil. Any of these could be ripe for bacteria to infest, which could ultimately lead to death. Mothers and babies routinely died during childbirth before the 1930s. Today, child mortality rate is 40 to 50 times lower than the pre-antibiotic era. Thanks to the work of Alexander Fleming and other scientists, the age of antibiotics began. You can read everything you need to know in this textbook I have right here. You could have yours at the UNM bookstore for only $900 today. This is not a paid advertisement. No longer were the days of everyday infection being the harbinger of death. Lives became happier and longer. One of the problems, however, was much like animals can adapt to their environment, bacteria can do the same. Think about the gym. When you begin a routine for the very first time, your body responds quickly. But as time goes on and you continue with the same routine, you do not shed the pounds you once did. This is your body's way of adapting to its new environment. Bacteria respond the same way to antibiotics. Over time, they can become resistant to the materials we use to fight it. This was foreseen by Fleming. We have to keep one step ahead. Luckily, there are people who are fighting for our future. The World Health Organization, the Center for Disease Control, and even the University of New Mexico are leading the fight against bacteria. Right here on our campus, Dr. Dave Whitten of the Biomedical Engineering Program has developed a new artificially created compound called OPEs that target bacteria. Dr. Whitten?
Well, OPEs are chemical compounds. And the official name, what OPE stands for, is oligophenylene ethanolenes. Here's the structure of an OPE. They're not natural at all. These are made in our laboratory here at UNM for the first time. They're new compounds. And they interact, we find, with the envelope, the part of the bacteria that keeps the bacteria alive. And the OPEs can actually penetrate that envelope and make little holes that allow the contents to spill outside. Well, we're targeting very dirty systems. That's where there's really a need to fight the bacteria. And also the emergency room, because people who are sick come in and they may be releasing the pathogens. And so we think that's a very good first opportunity for us.
Challenge.
In which specific ways can you see OPEs applied and where?